Hi, good morning. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi,
Good to see you again.
it's great to see you too.
Right. So, um, what time is it there? Is it 8 p.m.?
8:01.
Yeah. Well, just waiting on people to join us.
Okay.
I think it's a bit laggy today. Yeah. Well, I hope the recording stays up. So, I've got my towels. Have you got your towels?
Yep.
Shall we switch to our desk view?
Okay.
All
Hold
right.
on. Let me.
Okay. There we go. Are you all
There
good
we go.
there?
Yeah, I can't really see what I'm doing, but that's okay.
Okay,
Because
I'll
what I
try to.
realized
Yeah.
when I slide my camera down, um, it or my phone down, it hits the volume buttons and then it can call 911.
Yeah, don't do that. It would be really hilarious if in the middle of the live show they show up.
Don't laugh. That with yoga class one day, my phone rang back, and it was the police department wanting to know if I needed help.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there we go.
Ah.
So I can kind of see. So hopefully,
Yeah, I'm not sure what towels I will use because I took out the watercolor towel, but then should I also have like a plain towel?
do whatever you I mean. I think for these, you can do whatever you want, especially since I'm using my tile.
Yeah, I wish I had more of your towels, but I have the one that I kept. Ah, this is your towel. Can you see my screen? Oh, you can't.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Well, I gave away a whole bunch. I should have kept some for myself, or maybe I did keep some, but I couldn't find them again. So in a very safe place. Yeah. So yeah, tell us about your towels.
So these are an elongated hexagon that I just kind of came up with, and they kind of can go together, kind of cool, like in a flower pattern, or you can do them in like a reticula. So they do nest, and it was just a design I came up with because I was looking for something different that
Mm.
people hadn't seen and done before. And so I came up with the elongated hexagon, and they've just been kind of fun because they're almost like the phi tile, but with a little more pizzazz to it. So I've got the 5 colors plus Bristol and watercolor paper. And this is
Yeah,
the Me 10.
I think the one that I have is Bristol white. So I like the size, but it takes a while to get it done because it's larger than a regular towel. It's also larger than
Right.
a five towel.
Is it bigger than a phi?
Yeah, I think I might have
Okay.
one here. Let me hunt around my desk. Might have one.
Yeah, it's
Um
almost 6 inches tall and
yeah,
almost four
so
at its
I've got a
widest.
five towel. Can you see
Yeah, it is
it's
bigger.
larger. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bigger. Yeah. So
But these are also great. I made a bitty book with it where, you fold them in half and it makes a really
oh,
cute book.
even if you don't fold the book, I think it's quite nice, the size,
Yeah.
to have a bunch of them. Yeah. Well, speaking of interesting towels, um, I got a new towel from Almudena in Spain, and it's a very fun shape.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it nice?
I
Yeah.
love it. Very nice.
Okay, so what are we doing today? Would you like to start out by, okay, let me move this aside. What? what shall we start out first? Shall we talk about the tangles first?
Sure. So
Okay.
I planned on doing something kind of sweet and simple and botanical since so many of us love botanicals. And I'm going to use the Tucker from Corporate. That's an enhancement that you basically do the two little lines, and then when you shade it, it looks like it's a slit in the paper.
Yeah.
So you can have our botanicals coming out of it. So the botanicals I chose today, I chose two. One is Amarin, and this is by Debbie New, and it means immortal. And I love it because I love a good teardrop shape. So it starts out with one kind of teardrop shape and then two coming off of it.
Honey, are you demoing? Because we can't see.
Whoops, sorry.
No problem.
Can you see now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. And then another one maybe coming over here. And they could touch, they're supposed to touch, but I just kind of do them. And then in between, you can do them kind of hidden behind. That one should be hidden behind. And then, coming off.
They kind of remind me now of the corporate tangle idos. Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But, and then you can add an aura down the leaf or a double aura. And I like it because, like that's not exactly your step out, but I like how you can just kind of make the petals go however you want. Debbie's cringing, like, oh my goodness, she's not doing my tangle
No,
justice.
no.
But when I do it on my tile, everybody who takes classes with me knows I kind of run through the step outs kind of quick, and then I take a little bit more time when I do it. And then the other tangle is also by Debbie, and it's Angeleafe,
Ah,
Angeleafe, and I love leaves. So this starts out with just kind of a stem that you aura, and then it has little pieces that come down, and they get bigger as you come down.
so basically you're just layering S shapes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
I
way to
actually
put it.
so I'm not sure if you know, but actually there is a different version of angel leaf now.
No, no, I didn't.
Okay, so you do the one that you like, okay? It's fine if you have different step outs to mine, for either tangles,
Okay.
but angel leaf has evolved.
Oh,
Yeah. So you know how we have two sides of the leaf?
right.
So I've been doing S shapes at different angles now. So you get like layers in the leaf.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
Because
that a lot.
I think there are some tangles that look like angel leaf out there. So one day as I was like playing with the regular angel leaf, it just evolved and I kept it like just a tangulation of the original.
Oh,
So
I like that. That's
so you
very cool.
get different layers of the same stroke. So it's all S shapes. It's just different angles. And when you shade it, it gives you more possibilities now
Oh, yeah.
because of all
Yeah.
the, yeah.
Oh,
So it's a kind of
definitely.
well, it's kind of nice to have a tangle evolve. It means that it's alive, kind of.
That's very cool. I love that.
So use either, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my tiles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start by just putting an aura, a narrow aura, or a border. I
Okay.
guess technically it's a border. And really, you can do anything you want. I like to add the border to these tiles. I think it just kind of really makes the shape show a little bit more.
So adding your border in ink.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I will do something different then. Let me think.
Okay.
Mm,
I just like have a border on these tiles. The other thing though, we can go in and put a pattern in the border too, but I kind of like the sparseness of it.
mm.
And then I'm going to go ahead and just do a couple lines for my tucker. And again, I kind of do like a lazy S. You could do, for tucker, you could do a lazy S. You could do just curve lines. It doesn't matter. I kind of like it a little bit of a curve.
Mm. So is there, besides the tucker, are you putting down a string?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going free form, just kind of a botanical, a little bouquet of flowers. I don't always use strings, especially when I'm doing botanicals.
Mm.
I like to just kind of walk on the wild side.
Okay. Cool. So are
But
you starting out with Amarin then?
I'm sorry.
Will you start out with Amarin or
Yep.
Angeleafe?
Yeah, no, I'm going to start with Amarin. And depending on my placement, I might even keep it a monotangle with Amarin. But I'm going to just kind of start, and I like to do an odd number
Okay.
of flowers. So I'm going to go ahead.
So
And then,
would you mind if I start asking you questions, or do you need a little bit more time to set out your
oh no,
tile?
no, that's fine because I can just kind of draw now, put my petals in.
Yeah. Okay, let me get the questions.
Okay.
Well, my computer keeps turning off by itself, so I'm trying to log in again. All right. Mm, okay, so let's start from the beginning. Um, how did you find out about CZTAE?
You, I saw it advertised on Facebook and I was so excited. I thought, wow, what an opportunity to take all these classes with all these international teachers that I had, seen on Instagram and Facebook. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I signed up immediately. I mean, it didn't take me any time to sign up. And I thought it was the best idea.
But this was
And
back in, I think the first time you joined us was 2020.
yeah, I did it
Yeah,
I think the first time it was
yeah,
online.
2020.
And then yeah, and I just loved it. I thought it was just the coolest thing, and I still do.
Oh, that year we had a lot of issues. Um, because we were the first one that went online. Do you remember that?
Kind of, because I know I was teaching online because I had students that were like devastated that we didn't have class. And I don't think anybody was doing retreats except you. And it was just so exciting.
Yeah, but people didn't want to come teach. Do you know that? Because
It was,
they
I
were
found that
terrified,
out
I think.
later. That's so crazy.
Yeah, well, I guess we were all in a panic because, well, of COVID and everything. So a lot of the people, I approached my entire friend list. Do you know about that? Uh,
No, and
to
we weren't
teach.
friends then.
Yeah, we weren't friends then. Exactly. So I need all the crazy ones. Uh, Yeah, because back then, I think everyone was quite insular. Like we were all just doing our own thing in our own corner of the world, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I think it was the pandemic that opened everything up, made us a lot more adventurous, I
Hmm.
think. Yeah.
Well, I remember asking Annie Oken about it. Or I was in her club and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing this really cool thing called AE, and it's these teachers from all over the world." And she was familiar with it, but some of the other people weren't. And
Right.
at that point, I was already doing it, so it was too late for them to join. But yeah, I loved it so much.
Okay, I'm just gonna look at the people that are with us. We've got about 9 or 10 people with us. So
Okay.
I see you, Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Gloria says hi to you as well.
Oh,
Jennifer.
hi.
Um, yeah, Gloria has been with AE several years as well, several editions. Um, let's see who else is on. Yeah, we've got 10 people with us.
I know several people said they were going to pop on, um,
Hi,
and
Sharon.
I know some people were going to. A couple people today told me they were going to try to pop on, but they might be late.
Yeah. Well, Sharon Schenkel is with us.
Hey, Sharon.
Sonam. Hi, Sonam. Hi, Elizabeth. Trying not to crash my phone
Well,
in the
and I
process.
can't see anything.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Sharon says hi to us both. Yeah, well, after you joined us as a participant, I think the following year you came on as an instructor.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like 2021, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so funny because I really was nervous about it because I thought, gosh, I don't know that I can come up with something good enough. And it was such an impressive group, and it was very intimidating
It was.
to, oh, well, I was a, I wasn't a new teacher, but this was a big international thing. It was just like little old me from Virginia. So I was really nervous. I mean, I've been nervous every time.
Well, you don't give off any nervous vibes, you know that?
Well,
It's hard to
I
believe
guess
that you
that's
were
a
nervous.
I guess that's a good thing because no, I
Yeah.
was I was kind of a nervous wreck, to be quite
Well,
honest.
I think also at that point, like teaching online in a big group, and then recording yourself and stuff like that is a bit scary if you're doing it the first time.
Well, and what makes it really hard is you want your recordings to be perfect so that everybody enjoys it and this and that, and that's hard,
Yeah. But you
you
can't
know.
please everyone, right?
Oh, oh, I know, but being conscientious, it's.
So being so nervous, what inspired you to become an instructor in the first place? Like why torture yourself?
Because I honestly, from the giving back standpoint,
Mm,
I thought it was so cool that you gave back, that you donated. And my husband and I are very into doing that kind of thing. And I just was like, you know what?
mm,
I just
mm.
want to be a part of it and, give back to the community that's given so much to me.
So
So, yeah.
So for me as well, because giving back was always something that I did, like even in terms of work, before I became a CZT. So I was
Hmm.
quite astounded that we had nothing like that, like that we could give back together. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
When I came on board, um, when I became a CZT, I felt like there was nothing that was encouraging people to give back to society, to give a platform to our teachers. So that was for me. kind of something that I felt we were missing. And to be honest, I've never actually, and I've told you this before in person, I think, I've never actually thought about AE as mine. I've always referred to AE as being a community thing because I couldn't do it myself. Um, I couldn't raise the funds myself. I couldn't bring up all like everything that the instructors do by myself. It's just not something that one person can achieve by herself. So yeah, I mean, AE has a life of its own. That's what I always say. Hi, Terry. Terry is also an instructor this year, and hi, Barbara. Barbara is actually connecting from my dining table, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the main reason. I just felt like, I was doing a lot for my community, but I wanted to give back to the Entangle community. And when times are tough is when we need to come to the party and try to take care of people, and you know
Mm,
and I was
yeah.
just so impressed with what you had done. So,
Can I ask
so
you if it's okay to start on Angel Leaf now? Because
I
I've
just
got a whole bunch of Amarin.
yeah, I already did.
Right. Okay, so I'm slow. Okay, so I'll move
Well,
faster then.
and I tried to do your tangulation, and it's kind of sad, but that's okay.
Well, it's the first time that you're doing it. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people don't know this variation of Angel Leaf because I haven't exactly published it. I think well, it doesn't have a blog post, is what I mean. So I've just been teaching it to my own groups, and then I think I've demoed it online when I think Midori and we did a live session
Hmm.
last month of February, early February for Zentastic. So she picked Angel Leaf, and I thought it was a good time to showcase the evolved version. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the evolved version. My evolved version is a little on the sad side, but what can I say?
I don't think it's sad. Okay, let me try and look at your version.
That's
Mhm.
the tangulation.
Why is it sad?
I don't know.
Look it. Yeah. Well,
I love this. I have to say, I love Amarin. I absolutely love it.
thank you. Well, it's one of my older tangles. I think deconstructed in Thailand.
Wow.
Maybe that's part of why you like it, because it was um inspired by one of my trips to Thailand. At that point in time, Daniel and I we were traveling to Thailand a lot. Like we would go every year or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's quite nearby for us, I must say.
Yeah, if I would look at a map, I might know these things.
Well, I could always point it out on a map to you when you're here in July.
Well, I finally have looked at a map. So I kind of like where this is. I don't know.
Okay, so you said that your impression of AE the first time was the availability of so many classes, um,
Yes.
kind of like under one event, and so many people coming in from different parts of the world teaching.
Right.
So,
Right.
so having already said that, what is something else that you think is important that you know you need to tell other CZTs who are considering this program, um, who have never actually heard of AE or what AE is?
Well,
Yeah.
so like I said, the fact that you donate and you have donated so much money back to the charities is amazing. But I think one of the beneficial things, especially to the newer CZTs, is that you can reteach the classes. And so, you can put your own spin on them, but you can really get some great ideas. I do a couple times a year. I teach for the university in their older hostel program, Lifelong Learning, and I teach what I call more international fun. And I share classes from all over the world, and they absolutely love it. They just, because, they get to travel the world with me. And I think as a participant, you get to travel the world. None of us can go see all these CZTs or take classes from all these CZTs all over the world. And here we are, we join AE, and we're all over the world with all these different great teachers. And it's just, I don't know, I can't say enough about it. I mean, I've touted it since the beginning, and I just love it. I just think it's got so much to offer. And you you just learn so much. And people share their a little bit about them and where they live. And it's just the complete package. And not everyone can travel, and
Mm.
so it gives you that chance to go around the world without actually going.
So basically, at that point in time, especially during the pandemic, I think it was really something to be able to travel virtually, right? Because
Yes.
no one was getting anywhere because of COVID. Um, we were locked down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just took, for however long, or how, if you did a lesson a day or a lesson a week or whatever, for whatever time you were doing your lesson, you could just escape from what was happening, and the
Yeah.
lockdown and the isolation. And just again, travel the world without leaving your desk or
Yeah.
your art table.
And I think also it's not just about the traveling, it's also about like meeting the people in the community, and then um actually talking to them because we have socials as
Right.
well, right? Besides classes.
Right.
And you hosted a bunch of them. You would know.
Well, and I don't recall if there were socials at the beginning. Because if there were, I don't think I participated. But the socials are so nice because I think being in community is so wonderful, and it's just a very integral part of being an artist and being a tangler, and just being amongst the similar people and people with the same interests. And its community is just so wonderful. And AE gives that to us.
Mhm. That's very nice of you to say. Especially, knowing that after so many AEs, you're not sick of us yet.
No, I look forward to it every year, and every year I hold my breath like, oh, am I going to get accepted, And um I do. I hold my breath, and it's like I just love it so much, and I just love being a part of it. And there's nothing, and this, when you get on
Yeah.
Instagram or Facebook or wherever, and somebody has posted what they did of yours, and they're thanking you and saying how much they enjoyed it. That's just so rewarding.
So has
It's
anyone contacted you like to reteach? Because you were talking about people being able to reteach. Have you experienced as an instructor, like people getting to know you because they are reteaching your class and then having like full conversations of things like other than the class? Because I think
yeah,
we talk a lot. I mean,
yeah,
our
no,
community
yeah,
just talks a
yeah.
lot.
No, I do. I feel like I've made friends through it. And honestly, some of the classes I teach now, people found me through AE, and they continue to take my classes. And it's been, that's another whole perk of it, is
Mm,
that you know people come back to you because you know, I think Debbie, and I feel a little funny saying it since I'm one of the instructors, but you know, you get quality instructors, you get people with unique ideas, and it makes other people want to take more of their classes, you
So in
know?
terms of exposure, um,
Oh,
you are
it's
speaking in terms
crazy.
of exposure.
Oh, I bet I probably, yeah, I mean, I definitely have gotten a lot of students that take more of my classes because they have enjoyed my classes through AE.
Mm.
People that I wouldn't, you know, especially there again, the international aspect of it, you know, I wouldn't necessarily meet these people unless they're in India or Malaysia or Singapore. But, you know, I mean, being more serious, you know,
And you are
if you
happening to go, yeah, it happens that you're going to all these places this year as well.
he
Yeah,
just kind of looks at me and goes, okay, whatever.
yeah,
He's got to take care of the dogs.
yeah. Well, I think I think our community is very giving. I've heard of cases where they start out talking about reteaching and then the next thing they know they're best of friends. So
And it's true.
yeah,
I mean, you know, when I first started teaching for you, I didn't know you, and it was just like, oh boy, you know, Debbie knew. Whew. And now we're
like
friends, and it's so much fun.
who's this crazy person from Singapore, right?
No, no. Well, what's crazier? Me, hey Debbie, I'm going to be in Dubai. Can I come visit?
Oh, well, I really look forward to that one, I can tell you.
That was fun,
Yeah,
and then to be able to go visit Sharon and Susan and
yeah.
their and you know and the other gals were so much fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab like I think maybe my white jelly roll or like a white Posca.
Yeah, I used just on this one I used the chalk, but you've got that beautiful vivid color. But
Oh,
I mean,
this
I
was tinted by Barbara, so I had the opportunity. So Barbara is here with me in Singapore.
right.
She's leaving on Thursday. She's been here for about over a month.
No, you
She's leaving.
can't leave.
So she's finally going home on Thursday. I bet she's had enough of me already. And Daniel and the cats. So I had the pleasure of showing her some magicals. So she helped me pin this towel that I have on my desk, and I'm trying to look for my Posca pen,
Oh, so
which
that's
yeah,
magicals?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
This is Mindy's gang.
Oh,
I
oh,
think
so
it
pretty.
is, I can't remember the name. I think it is purple violet uh teal with probably um an azure, which is the blue. And I'm
Right.
trying to find my white Posca, which I believe is somewhere. Ah, I saw it. Okay, found it. Yeah. So
That's
let me just
gorgeous.
so besides the reteaching and besides the community, um, is there anything else you think that a new CZT or a newer CZT, maybe not brand new, but like starting to, because I know a lot of people have approached me recently to say that, oh, I'm starting a new chapter in my life, I'm retiring, and I'm gonna teach more classes and things like that, be a new CDT, like see it from a different perspective now that she's retired or something like that.
Well,
What would
I
you say to
also,
these people
well,
in terms
I
of
think,
AE?
yeah, I mean, I think AE, the the classes and the ideas, and you know, the
Mm.
other thing is the supplies. You know, I didn't know anything about Lindy's before AE. And I think, you know, the supply kit, if you can, you know, if you can sign up when you sign up, if you can get that, you know, you get supplies that are, I mean, of course, you get some normal supplies, but you get some things that you wouldn't probably typically have. And so I think besides learning new techniques and all those types of things, excuse me, you get to try new products or something, new to you products. And without the big investment, because with the Lindy's, if you're going to buy the whole big tube and everything, that starts to add up. But with AE, you get a nice selection, and we know they last forever.
Mm,
And just the different pens or tools that you get there. To me, it's just very, very multifaceted. It's not like just taking a class and learning something and then moving on. It's techniques, it's products, um, it's I don't even know how to articulate it because there's just so much about it that I love.
mm,
Like if I didn't
mm,
teach, I would still be taking it. I definitely couldn't imagine not being a part of CZT as far as a participant or an instructor. I just feel like I get so much out of it. And the variety of classes.
mm,
The year that we did the little bunny and the moon on the
mm,
fabric. That
mm.
was so cool. And like when Yvonne did the one with the stickers, and that was cool. I mean, there's just been so many cool techniques.
You
And
know the one with Yvonne and the stickers nearly didn't happen.
I know because you couldn't get the
Because
stickers.
yeah, I was freaking out. Like it was, I mean, we tried to give basically we try to give everything that we can give within reason. Yeah, and I still have stickers from that period of time. Do you know that in my house? Because afterwards the studio moved back to my place. So I still have stickers from Yvonne's class. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
stickers.
just, sometimes different papers. I mean, there's just, I mean,
Oh, you're gonna
I'm
love
really,
the
I'm,
paper this year because we've got special paper this year. We've got watercolor postcards, 100% cotton watercolor postcards, and we also have a new paper that Overjoyed brought in. I think it's um Holland's paper
oh,
is from the Netherlands. Yeah,
ooh.
yeah.
Well, those postcards are outrageously cool. It's my new favorite thing. I had won a contest with Strathmore years ago where I got like a big box, one of everything they had.
Mm,
And I went over to my shelf. I'm like, oh, postcards. They're my new favorite thing.
yeah. So I think well, if you like the postcards, let me know so that I can hand more over to you in July
Okay.
because we've got yeah.
Because I do love them. But I don't think you can go wrong with AE. I just think that it has so much to offer in so many different ways that, like I said, it's even hard to articulate. I just think about like Midori and just her
Mm.
creativity and her talent is just so wonderful. And, I mean, I'm thinking back, like my mind's going like a little race car. And I can honestly say there are some classes I like more than others. I've not hated any of the classes. I have loved most of them. And the ones that I really liked, I learned something. It was cool products. It just might not have been my cup of tea, which that's going to happen no matter what. But I'd have to say, I think I've done, let's see, I'm looking at my little lapel pins. So I've done 6, and I would have to say I have loved 90% of them.
Well, even if you don't love them, just skip them, And I still think that even because we've got like 24 classes this year. So even if you skip a couple,
Yeah, but
you still got
the thing
20
is,
classes.
but even if I don't love it, I feel like I've learned something, and
Mm,
I've
mm,
enjoyed the instructor. I
mm.
mean, there's just so much about it. I learned from every single class. Every single class, I have learned something.
I
Oh,
think
Debbie,
the
that's really pretty.
thank you. I think the only way to not get something from AE is to buy it and then not use it.
Well, and that's the thing. And I do think you have to be disciplined. You have to do it. And I know I'm going to be much more proactive with my students who join. And, I do a free Zen hour. And during my Zen hour, if it's AE people, and I
Yeah.
might even dedicate like one a month to AE only so that people
Mm,
can come and
mm,
work,
yeah.
and it's free. They can just, set that time and say, okay, I'm working on AE
Well,
today.
well, this year we have a new program based on feedback. So last AE at 2023, we had a lot of people feedback that they couldn't finish the classes. So what we did this year was to create a partnership program that would actually take people through the entire 24 lessons if they stuck with the thing. But of course, it's optional, so you can always opt in or opt out. Um, After you have secured your placement, um, look out for a newsletter thing that asks you to sign in with a consent form. So my consent forms are, sorry about my cat. She's very vocal today. So my consent forms are actually ready. It's just that I'm trying to get more people registered first before I send out the huge announcement thing.
Sure.
Um, yeah, because otherwise I have to keep sending, and then the people who are on the list will keep who have signed up since day one would have like 10 notices. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the problem with mailing lists because everyone is collected on a list. And then if I send out the same thing 10 times, the poor person who's been on the list since day one will get it 10 times. So I'm trying to sort of minimize this. And yeah, so Susan and I, we have taken back the program, the partnership program, and we will be rolling it out soon. So this year, if you sign up for the partnership program, you get 3 or 4 partners, different time zones or same time zones to you. Sometimes the irony of it is that although we are in different time zones, we actually talk more than if we are in the same time zones. Have you actually met anyone like that? So I actually have actually because I've got a few friends who don't sleep normal hours, so they find it easier. They find it easier to partner someone from a different time zone that's naturally awake. So we're
Oh, that's cool.
trying to, yeah. So we're trying to do that this year so that even if so we're going to give you like maybe 4 partners, 3 or 4 partners, so that if one partner for some reason decides to go silent, you still got friends. Yeah, I mean if it's just the one,
Insomniacs unite.
yeah, but if it's just the one, then if something happens to that person, like, because nowadays we live in very uncertain times, right?
Right.
If that person decides that she doesn't want to be on Facebook anymore or doesn't want to be on social media anymore, or if something happens within their family, there's always another person.
Yep.
So we try to give you like each person like 4 partners. And of course, this is something that you have to agree to let us share your data.
Right.
Yeah, so there will be a separate form. It can't be, I've answered this question as well a few times already because people have been asking about the program. It can't be the same form because if you give me a form with like a few hundred questions to answer, I'm going to probably forget the one that's important. You know what I'm saying? So it has to
Right.
be a unique form to the registration form. And also, we don't want to give you like too many forms. So the special program, the consent form for that program, as well as the consent form for the publications project. So we are putting together a book this year. If you like, you can join us. Both will be on the same form. So it's just 2 forms. I can't deal with more forms, I think, myself. So I think this is the best way forward for all of us. And I hope that it'll be warmly received. I mean, it's the first time we're trying out a lot of things this year. Um,
Well, that's
pretty
exciting.
ambitious, pretty ambitious. So I'll actually need help, hint, hint, when it comes to the socials.
Well, you know me. I'm ready. I'm game.
Yeah. Well, you always have been very helpful to us. Um, Mainly because we need someone in your time zone, in
Right.
the US time zones. So, for example, it's 12 hours difference,
Right.
which is actually not so bad. It's the 15-hour difference thing that I can't manage that well.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, because it's easy for me to do the US. I mean,
You
you
live
know.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so pretty.
thank you.
I made mine simple. You're making yours fancy.
Well, well, Barbara helped a lot because she tinted the tile.
Right. So I didn't have a tinted tile.
Yeah. Well, do you have questions for me? Like I finished all my questions for you.
Um, not,
What
I
is
mean, not
something that, because we've talked back and forth like many years now.
right.
Basically, I talk at you a lot, I think. Well, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask, or something that you wanted to add, or
Yeah, I think that we need to just make sure people know about AE, and if for our people who are here today or watch the recording, tell your friends about it. If you've enjoyed it, tell your friends because it's a really great opportunity. And I think, I'd hate for people to miss out on something this cool that's great for them, that's great for actually the community, the world. I mean, to give back to the charities that you provide. Why don't you mention who this year's is in case people don't know?
and we are again supporting the refugee work, mainly because there are so many instances of humanitarian crisis. I mean, just I mean the well-known ones you guys know. Gaza is the well-known one, and Ukraine, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to UNHCR sometime last year, and they sent me a whole bunch of information about things happening around the world that, well, to be honest, I can barely keep up myself, like with the news, because
Right.
everywhere things are happening everywhere. It's not just Gaza, it's not just the Ukraine. So this year, actually, we will just support the refugee work internationally and let them decide where to divert the funds. So
Oh,
we will
nice.
begin, yeah, because seriously, things change every 6 months. Um, it could be that by the time we actually have the money to donate, that some new developments will happen. There could be a new war or a new civil war or something, and we're not responding fast enough, is what I mean.
Yeah.
So to give the agency the money means that they have the discretion then to put the money where it's needed the most at that point in time. Whereas if we will say that, so it will be limiting to say that, oh, we're just going to help Ukraine, for example.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
something happens like in the meantime, and the funds are actually needed elsewhere. But because we've already spoken about Ukraine, we can't then donate to somewhere else. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So having giving the funds to the UN organization that actually runs charity work, I mean, runs humanitarian rescue work, I think is the best way forward because we can't keep up. I mean, there's no way, I think, in this era that anyone can keep up with all the things that are happening around the world. Like even the crisis in Syria that happened a few years back, prior to the wars, things are still going on there.
Right.
But how much do we know?
Right.
Because media, like Western media, as well as like mainstream media, doesn't quite focus on things that are not popular anymore.
Right.
So after a while, people get like fatigue. Like they forget about Syria, they forget about Myanmar. So I'm not sure if you even heard about Myanmar. So Myanmar had like had their government overthrown, and then they I think they're under military leadership right now, for example. So lots going on in the world. It's just whether or not the media picks up. And the media favors certain topics over other topics, because they're funded that way, right?
Right.
And so we may not even have like a proper representation of what's happening in the world if we just base solely on media. So in my opinion, because no one can keep up with this, it's not possible. Just to give the UNHCR the funds and let them decide would be like the best, I think, for where the money is going
Right.
to things that actually need the money, rather than we dedicate it to someone or somewhere and then have things change in six months when we launch.
Right.
Because every AE takes about 6 months, so we were prepping for AE. And Jennifer, you know this because we were talking about it when you were here in
Right.
Singapore.
Right.
We have been prepping for AE since November, actually. And then it only launches in May, end of May, 25th May. So, and then you get the 1 year access from 25th May to the following May. But prior to that 1 year access, there's been 6 months. So a lot of people don't realize like the timeline, the whole time frame of the event. Um, and this is why also when people ask for additional time to complete the 1 year access, it's kind of not fair to the instructor to be tied down that long. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
our instructors are busy. People move on, and you don't want to have something that's tying you down more than 1.5 years. It's just ridiculous, especially in the arts arena where things are constantly in flux. Like you are changing, like you learn a new technique at the drop of the hat.
Yeah.
Why are you still like doing something like from 2 years ago or 3 years ago? And the longer you have it, the less you will look at it. Yeah, so
Right.
I think 1 year is like the best amount of time. In fact, it's actually the longest amount of time that um so far all the events that I've been to don't offer a year. I think the
Right.
longest I ever had was like 3 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long do you usually when you attend an event, how long do you get to complete the recordings?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't pay attention because most of the ones I do online, I try to do them live, and
Mm-mm.
but the ones that get like recordings, I I
Yeah,
kind of get excited and do them right away.
yeah. Because after a while, you kind of get busy and then you kind of forget and things, I mean, life happens, right?
Yeah.
So the longer you keep the recording, the less likely you're gonna go back to it, is what I mean.
Well,
I'm
exactly.
not, yeah, and
No,
I'm not
exactly.
exempt from this as well. I admit I have this problem as well. So I'm not actually gloating here. I'm just saying that um I observe myself, and the longer I take, the less it's gonna be done, like the less probability of me actually finishing it before
Exactly.
I get busy again or I move on to something else. Um
Right. Well,
yeah,
and then there's
so
there's other stuff. So yeah, I think a year is fine, and it's just something that we're adults. We need to be responsible and try to get done what we want to do, and maybe pick your favorites, do them first, and then as time allots, do the other ones or whatever. But yeah, I think a year is plenty.
well, I don't want to be an adult, but I have to, so I'm not gonna argue with that. Well, we've got 13 people still online. Do you want to say something to them while they're still here? I see
Well,
you've
I appreciate you all
finished.
come. Yeah, yours is gorgeous. Mine's super simple. Yours is really lovely. Thank you everybody for showing up. Take a look at my website, lotusblossom.biz, if you want to see what else is going on with me. And, tell your friends about AE. If you've participated, share your experience. And if you haven't participated, I just highly, highly, highly recommend. Um, you won't be disappointed.
Well, I will. So what I will do after this is I will try to get the recordings up, and I will invite Jennifer as a collaborator so you can actually click on the links instead, because you know how fussy Instagram is with links, right?
Yeah.
So I will actually tag, yeah, it's easier for me to tag and add you as a collaborator. So all you have to do is
Okay,
just accept it. Yeah. And then it will show up on your feed so that we don't lose people. Thanks, Gloria. Yeah. So Gloria's been with us the whole time, I think. Have you met
great.
Gloria? Have you met Gloria, Jennifer?
I don't think I have. Where's Gloria from?
Okay, I'm gonna probably forget, but I think she's from Pennsylvania, is what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
I don't think I know Gloria.
Yeah. Well, you will soon. She's probably coming this year as well. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay, yay,
Okay, so
yay.
I'm gonna let you go. It's probably getting late for you. Um, yeah.
It's almost my bedtime.
Yeah, so I got it right. She's from Pennsylvania. I remember because we were joking about. So she was at one of my regular classes, and I was telling her about these pencils that I found. So these are chalk pastels, soft pastels, and we were talking about pencils. And then one of the girls was talking about how much more expensive it is to buy the pencils in Canada. And then Linda Friedley, I think it was, and Gloria was saying that, oh, it's cheaper in Pennsylvania. Wonder why? And I said, well, it's Pennsylvania.
You're just
Yeah.
so clever, Debbie.
No, I'm just really corny and full of puns. Okay, I see we have another Sharon around here. Sharon Wong. You know
Oh,
Sharon
hi,
from
Sharon.
Malaysia? Yeah. And then we also have Sharon Shankle still with us. Thanks for staying with us, girls.
Yeah,
Love to see you guys.
thank you.
Yeah. Thanks
Thanks
so
for
much,
coming.
Jenifer.
Thank you. I hope
Thank you
everybody
for
has a
doing
great either.
this.
Yeah, have a great rest of your day. Anybody who it's late, have a great rest of your evening, and hopefully we'll see each other somewhere soon.
Well, I definitely see you in July and September. So I think I'm
Exactly.
really fortunate.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
And you're seeing
excited.
Sharon, I think, 3 or 4 times this year. Sharon Wong. Because you're seeing
Yep.
her you're gonna be seeing her in Singapore, in KL, and then in Goa, right?
Ri- Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
three
And then again.
times. Oh yeah, and then again as well. So that's 4 times.
So Sharon got to add to our Pandora bracelets.
I actually helped her over Christmas to add to her bracelet. Ask her to show you. I got her
I
something
will.
for Christmas from Pandora because I had no
Okay.
idea what to get her. Knowing that you got her onto the Pandora thing helped me along for Christmas.
It's always a great gift.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, honey. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you again
All
soon. I'll
right.
try to get a recording up. Thank you so much for doing
Great.
this.
You're
Bye,
welcome. Thank
everyone.
you. Bye,
Thanks for watching
everybody.
us.